So I saw this video about Brighter Shores, and I don't know anything about it yet. But to anyone who doesn't understand, this is the game that the guy who created RuneScape is coming out with. So let's prod this one.
RuneScape on the horizon. Imagine diving into a vast world filled with endless.
I'll look that up here in a few minutes.
Adventures, a bustling community, and that nostalgic charm of a classic MMO, but with a fresh twist. Brighter Shores is here to revolutionize the genre and ignite excitement among MMO fans. Let's explore why this new title could be the next big thing for online gaming enthusiasts.
From what little bit I've seen about Brighter Shores so far, I think that Andrew Gower is still one of the extremely forward-thinking individuals of the genre. And I think that comes, and you can see that obviously in the development of RuneScape and the way that it came about. Whereas most MMOs were trying to create this sort of fantasy RPG game, I think that RuneScape at its core was trying to be a life sim, and it accomplished that in ways that nobody could have possibly imagined that it would. I mean, the amount of just pure stuff that you can do and the depth for everything that you can do in RuneScape is really something completely different, you know? It's absolutely insane. I think Brighter Shores could look good. I'm excited to see what happens with it. If he's really trying to revolutionize things, then I'll be interested to see.
Hey y'all, Mezzigato here, your go-to for news, reviews,
by the way, for the Zins, I like the peppermint currently. I used to do citrus.
Today we're jumping into an exciting new MMORPG that's making waves in gaming community. It's called Brighter Shores. Created by Andrew Gower, the award-winning designer behind RuneScape, this game promises to set new standards in the genre. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know about Brighter Shores, from its unique point-and-click gameplay to its engaging storyline and diverse profession system. You'll learn about the game's episodic content model, the variety of fantastic foes you'll encounter, and the exciting features that make this game stand out.
See, it looks interesting. I think if he has a really good profession system that sort of links everything together the way that it used to be, I think that that could be something that absolutely just blows people's minds in the modern era. I've often said that if RuneScape was a game that was being developed now, it would put everything else in the ground. People would be astounded by it. Talking about games that'll put everything else in the ground. I don't know if you guys have seen about Ashes of Creation, but the new updates for it look incredible, and it looks, I mean, I can't wait to see what's up. But I think that Brighter Shores has a possibility of being one of the next big MMOs. I just think that any MMO that's being developed is going to be years and years away.
To fully appreciate Brighter Shores' potential, it's important to understand the legacy of RuneScape, the game that set the standard for MMOs today. For me, I've played RuneScape on and off since 2004. It's one of my all-time favorite games to play with friends. From fishing in Catherby, fletching in Camelot, farming dragon...
Playing it with friends? Who has friends to play RuneScape with? I've made enemies. I don't know if I've made a whole lot of friends until I started making content about the game. It's really just a giant ego battle I find a lot of times that I'm dealing with in game, or some guy who's trying to be nice to me because he's socially engineering one of the biggest scams that I'll ever see.
Hides to completing quests. I've got a lot of fond memories playing this game. RuneScape was developed by Jagex and released in January 2001, which started as a browser-based MMO created by Andrew, Paul, and Ian Gower. It quickly attracted a massive player base.
I think that is what made RuneScape huge, is that for all of the people who didn't have computers good enough to play all these other MMOs that were coming out at the time, people were playing World of Warcraft a lot during that time. People were playing a lot of computer games, shooting games, all those kinds of things. RuneScape was the game for the kids who didn't know anything about computers and didn't have parents that were super into computers. They had just bought a computer and put it in the house, or they had access to the library. I can't tell you how many people that I know that got into RuneScape specifically because they were library kids who were waiting at the library after school for hours and hours, and they were just sitting there playing RuneScape on those computers and being told they weren't allowed to, and just going back and doing it. The amount of times I went into a library and saw kids on a computer playing RuneScape right next to each other or apart from each other and running back and forth to each other's screens to be like, oh, I'm over here, let's go do this. It was astounding.
It's due to its accessibility and engaging medieval fantasy gameplay. In 2004, RuneScape 2 brought significant upgrades in graphics and mechanics, propelling the game to new heights. By 2007, RuneScape had become a global phenomenon with millions of active players. In November of 2012, RuneScape 3 introduced a new graphics engine and modernized gameplay, attracting a new audience. However, Jagex realized they had alienated part of their community. So they quickly released old school RuneScape based on the two.
I wouldn't say quickly. It took a very long time, to be completely honest. But we've talked about it before. I think the evolution of combat was the straw that broke the camel's back, but it wasn't necessarily the whole problem. They had made so many decisions with RuneScape that changed the nature of the game away from this sort of multiplayer experience where you hung out with all of your friends and did all of these different things together and traded and sort of that whole thing into a more solo. We were worried about everyone's safety, but they had all these issues with real life trading and scamming, and people had been sued over RuneScape items and things like that. So I get why that happened, but it feels a little bit odd to say that RuneScape was completely destroyed by evolution of combat. People had checked out at so many points prior to that. Everyone has their moment where they checked out. A lot of times it was because of summoning. A lot of times it was because of trading. A lot of times it was because the wilderness got taken away. Just things like that. So nice to see you, Wayne. What's up?
2007 version of the game. This version has enjoyed a very dedicated following since. RuneScape's impact on gaming community is profound. It pioneered the MMORPG genre, offering a rich, evolving world with diverse skills and quests. Its community-driven development approach fostered a loyal player base and set precedent for player involvement in game updates.
Pioneered
RuneScape's
indeed.
legacy is evident in the numerous games it has inspired and its ongoing influence in the MMO landscape. Gower Brothers.
Does anyone know if Albion Online is based off of Albion from what's the game called? Fable. Does anyone know? I've always wondered that.
Jagex in 2010, and we didn't hear much about them until earlier this year, when they revealed their new studio, Finn Research Limited, and their new game, Brighter Shores. This upcoming MMO has caught a lot of attention due to the Gower's involvement and their impressive track record. The story kicks off with you as the newest recruit in Hopeport's Town Guard, eager to make a name for yourself. But your role quickly
It has
becomes
good
more
vibe.
challenging than
I
expected.
like any tile-based MMO. I think that it's a fun way to play a game. I've seen this screenshot so many times. It looks interesting. If the world is worth exploring, if the times are there to be had and the numbers go up, I will be interested in playing it.
A strange storm rages over the harbor. Local goblins are restless, and you discover powerful magic sources that propel you to become one of the legendary classes: the Cryo Knight, Guardian, or Hammer Mage. These classes will be crucial in combating the corruption spreading from the depths of Hope Forest. Brighter Shores offers a rich array of professions, much like RuneScape's skill system. You can choose from roles such as Fisher, Forager, Chef, Woodcutter, Miner.
I don't like being limited on the amount of professions that I can get. That's one of my biggest problems with World of Warcraft's crafting system and basically every other MMO's crafting system is the idea that like I can only be one specific thing or two specific things at any given time, and I have to choose, am I going to have a crafting profession and a gathering profession? Am I going to have two gathering professions? I want to do everything. I don't necessarily want to have to altaholic and just binge on grinding all these other classes and having all these different, characters. That this is my guy who goes out and gets the herbs and gets the ore, and this is my guy who turns those into things. Especially in games where they're not all connected together, just give me the ability to do it all on one character and then let me see how many hours I want to put into the game. Don't pigeonhole me into being something that I don't want to be.
Alchemist, stonemason, merchant, blacksmith, and more, ensuring every player can find their niche or master them all. We've seen concept art for profession capes, which
I would say that it will be a lot of
OSRS
OSRS players,
which is a unique twist on RuneScape skill capes. The game's world is filled with a huge variety of fantastic foes, including hedgehog, beavers, frost gnomes, goblins, and water dragons, keeping the gameplay.
That looks cool. Like this
hedgehog,
shot
beavers,
right here,
frost gnomes, goblins, and water dragons.
Where this pops up, I don't know if this is going to be the combat arena for this enemy right here, or if this is just a cinematic leading into the fight, but it looks really, really cool. I think that Andrew Gower has this problem that he's going to have for the rest of his life, which is that any game that he's involved in is going to be looked at as, is this going to be our next RuneScape? Even if he develops a side-scrolling platformer, people are going to look at it and go, is this going to be like RuneScape? This guy developed RuneScape, and that's such a hard thing to bring along with you in everything that you do. Like, the expectations of that, like, this game could be really, really good. It could be better than most MMOs out there. And people are going to either go, well, I don't like RuneScape, so I'm not going to play it. Or they're going to go, I really like RuneScape, so I'm going to play it. And then it's nothing like RuneScape. And then they go, oh, well, this sucks, actually. But I think that I have such faith in a developer who I really like. If he's somebody who... Okay, so the games that people develop are usually a symptom of who they are as a person, or an extension of who they are as a person. They sort of take their thoughts about the world around them and about what video games should be, and it guides their principles of how to make a game. That's why the original World of Warcraft was so good. That's why the original Blizzard games were so good in general, is because they had a whole group of people involved from an early time period that really had certain thoughts about what a video game was, what makes them fun, what kind of progression you want to have, the combat, the ways it needs to feel, and these different kinds of mechanics. And when you have a team that's so locked into their perspective and their perspective is good, it makes good games every single time. There's a lot of developers out there right now who don't play video games, who don't enjoy the concept, who are here looking at the marketing side of it and looking at how do we get people to spend money on microtransactions, and how do we create this basket to capture them all in so they'll just farm us money the whole time that we are updating this game. How do we employ a bunch of people to just make us money wholesale? How do we go about doing that? Instead of going, how do we make a game that's really good, and then how do we monetize that video game? And that, I think, is the entire problem with the development of most games nowadays. That's what I'm hoping that Andrew Gower doesn't believe in. I hope that he believes in, I'm going to make a good game that's fun, not I'm going to get a whole bunch of people to just bring it in. You know, I think like Vanilla WoW was a really interesting situation. I think that like no one really understood what they were creating or doing. But if you look back at Vanilla WoW, even if you look at hardcore WoW footage nowadays, it looks really fun. Like just seeing a rogue walking around carrying two different glowing swords, or seeing a Fury Warrior walking around carrying two different glowing swords, that looks badass, dude. Like, absolutely badass. Kyle, I think I'm going to start playing Guild Wars 2 in the next week or so. I haven't really decided yet. I'm currently trying to farm people on the Guild Wars 2 content to see how much interest there is in me really doing it. I keep getting comments on videos like, why don't you just try it then? It's like, because if I try a video game, I have to be able to make content out of it, because like, this is a huge time sink that I have to do, so I have to make sure that there's interest. So like, you know, that's that whole thing. Well, whenever I play, guys, we'll get a group together. We'll pick a server. We'll all play together.
Fresh and challenging. One of the most exciting aspects
of
Brighter
Discord,
Shores
fellas.
is its episodic content model. The game will continuously expand with new content released in episodes, each introducing unique side quests, professions.
I've heard this. This sounds like Genshin, bro. This sounds like Genshin to me. Episodic content. It sounds to me like we're not going to have a complete game at first, and I don't think an MMO should be made in episodes, because people want to play an MMO to death. And if there's not enough content, you're going to immediately fall into the New World problem, where it's popular right off rip and then it dies off super hard.
And lands while advancing the central story. This approach ensures there's always something new for players to experience. Players can also enjoy hours of free content in areas like Hopeport and Hope Forest. For those seeking even more adventures, the Premium Pass offers additional stories, professions, and places to...
Is the Premium Pass... Sorry, I missed that. Is it...
Players can also enjoy hours of free content in areas like Hopeport.
Let me see, hold on.
Expand with new content released in episodes, each introducing unique side quests, professions, and lands while advancing the central story. This approach ensures there's always something new for players to experience. Players can also enjoy hours of free content in areas like Hopeport and Hope Forest. For those seeking even more adventures, the Premium Pass offers additional stories, professions, and places to explore.
How much is the Premium
Access
Pass?
includes benefits such as entry to the Mine of Montalban and the Chronopolis, unique character names, exclusive armor...
Yes, my favorite zones, the Mine of Montalban and Chronopolis. The stuff that I'm interested in. A unique character name only available in the Premium Pass. Exclusive armor dice, change your name. So I don't get a unique or a change my name. Player-to-player trading, not available in free-to-play. Man, I don't like this. So it's basically like a purchase game. The Premium Pass, is that going to be a subscription though? That's the thing that I'm curious about. If it's just a one-time purchase like Guild Wars, we might have something here.
The ability to change your name.
It's a demo otherwise.
This model mirrors RuneScape's membership system, providing both free and premium experiences. Brighter Shores also features minigames, much like those in RuneScape. These minigames, showcased in the gameplay trailer, offer fun and engaging activities that break up the main questing and combat. The trailer also hints at possible dungeons such as the vault opening in the Mines of Montalban. With hundreds of hours of gameplay, Brighter Shores ensures long-term engagement. But
hundreds of hours of gameplay, the same 5 clips over and over again. Listen, I'm just going off of my gut instinct about what I'm seeing in front of me. And this is a bummer to say out loud, and I don't mean this in a hateful way towards Andrew Gower. I'm glad that he's out here doing things, and I appreciate him. This looks kind of bad. It looks kind of bad the way that you're in a chunk that is unbelievably small. You can't see anything else outside of it. It grays out when you walk around. The motion looks kind of stiff. The mini games look like minor puzzles that I've seen in other games. I just don't know. I have to play the game, obviously, before I have my true thoughts about it, but
players can earn profession capes similar to RuneScape skill capes by mastering their chosen professions.
if he makes worse RuneScape, it's not going to matter what he does, you know? It's the games are released with heavy criticism nowadays because people have played so many MMOs over and over and over again that now we've seen so much about how the mechanics of it work. When we were kids playing MMOs for the very first time, we had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. We couldn't fathom it. We were just playing a game. Now we're playing a spreadsheet and we can see every single cell in the spreadsheet. Why not just play RuneScape? Probably because people have put 10,000 hours into RuneScape and they hate that game now. You know, it doesn't matter how good the game is. It doesn't matter how well loved it is. You get burned out after an eventual amount of time, and people will not let you change RuneScape. The amount of hatred that there is out there for sailing is absolutely insane. They hate it, dude. They hate the idea. And you see the same comments over and over again. This isn't old school RuneScape. This is something different now. They hate it. They hate that idea. So you have to make a completely new game that hopefully markets to those people to give them something else that they want. People don't know what they want. People think they know what they want, but you have to give them what they don't even know that they want yet because they haven't seen it. I just don't know if this is it.
We've also seen glimpses of the detective profession and mining with dynamite in the Mines of Montalban. The innovative room system is another standout feature in Brighter Shores. The rooms will act as mini servers, sectioning off each part of the map for different types of content. The number of players allowed in each room varies to ensure optimal gameplay. For example, a room designed for a market in Hopeport can get crowded, so the game will intelligently move players to a different room to aid trading, while rooms with monsters limit players' numbers to avoid over-contending. If a room is full, the game automatically creates additional instances to maintain an optimal player experience.
So is it going to run off AWS then? Because that sounds a lot like AWS to me with automatic scaling. That's which is okay. Is this made in Woodshop? What engine is this made in? That's my new question.
Plus, if you have a friend in a room, the game will try to place you in the same instance. So, what?
Okay, that's what Palia does, right? Where they sort of group players by instance that way. I think that RuneScape's system for having worlds is one of the best systems for getting players that, you know, having room for everybody without overcrowding and still making it simple to play with your friends if you want to. Sometimes it can be hard to find one that has a low enough ping for you, and that would be nice if that could be or there could even just be a drop-down list of by lowest ping, and they could constantly have that readout. But besides that, I think the worlds in RuneScape are absolutely perfect. And I think that they should imitate, if anything, that.
What does Brighter Shores mean for the MMORPG genre?
Really? It's a custom engine by him, huh? I wonder what backend he's using. The fact that it's automatically going to add new instances in order to and automatically scale, it sounds a lot like an AWS kind of thing to me.
And how does it stack up against existing games in the market? I believe it has the potential to fill a niche for players who love the classic MMO genre.
James, they just always dump you in your own little section with no one else around, and they're like, we know what you want, actually.
That RuneScape provides. Even though RuneScape is still going strong, I think Andrew Gower has a good sense of what the genre needs to create a unique experience.
RuneScape is having one of the biggest explosions ever right now, actually.
Modern elements could attract nostalgic players and new ones looking for a fresh take on the genre.
That shot looks cool.
List of professions, allowing players to find their gameplay niche. much like RuneScape with a few twists, and its episodic content ensures the game remains dynamic and ever expanding. The balance between free content and the premium pass will be crucial as well, if managed properly. It can enhance the player experience without creating a pay-to-win environment. The promise of continuous updates and new episodes could ensure Brighter Shores has a long and vibrant life. This model not only keeps the game fresh, but also allows the developers to adapt and expand the game based on player feedback and emerging.
What was that game called? I can't remember. It's gone to like a card game now, apparently, from what someone said it in here the other day. So someone in here definitely knows it.
Trends. However, there are potential challenges. The introduction of a premium pass must be handled carefully to avoid alienating free-to-play users. Additionally,
Ginfanad, that's it.
The game's ability to stand out in a competitive market filled with established MMOs will be a significant test. The game's success will likely hinge on player retention through community growth and the reception of these new episodes. The details about the room system are also very intriguing. It implies that there will be a fully persistent world without hard servers. Essentially, it sounds like new instances of different parts of the world will be added depending on player activity in a given part of the game. And the fact that I can connect with friends while walking up on a room is also a breath of fresh air. It sounds like we don't have to server hop to play with our friends.
Do you guys feel like that's really completely necessary, though? I think sometimes that they're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. World of Warcraft has had these hard servers that you need transfers across, and that's the problem that everyone's trying to solve. But I feel like a lot of companies have already solved it. Final Fantasy XIV, you can visit other servers, absolutely no problem. It's a very simple process. A RuneScape has a world system that allows you to jump back and forth. I always like when I walk into the Grand Exchange on a server, I haven't even looked at my friends list yet, and one of my friends there's a green dot and it's someone who I know in real life just hanging out at the Grand Exchange. That always makes me really happy. It's this moment of spontaneity, you know, you're in this new adventure all of a sudden because you and your friend connected out of nowhere. And I get that that's sort of what they're trying to do all the time, but like, then you just end up in a bubble where you're just playing with the same people all the time because, you know, you make so many friends, and then all of a sudden every place you walk into is only the people you already know. Then like the people who are getting placed inside of there with those people are sort of bonding into this group as well because they start to meet people. So it kind of becomes like a social network where you're only seeing the people who are one station removed or one node removed. So like you're here, your friend's here, and then there's like one other guy over here who knows your friend, and then that's all the people that you play with. How do you ever meet other people?
Which is a unique take on server issue that has always irritated me with RuneScape.
And especially if it's only one server that's running off of everything, if they're constantly bringing in new instances, it could just be very laggy.
I know features like this usually irritate fans of the genre, but I think if executed properly, it could change the genre for the better.
Yeah, I agree with you, James.
Personally, I'm really excited about Brighter Shores. I'm already a huge fan of old school RuneScape. Plus the combination of Andrew Gower's expertise, the rich gameplay elements, and the continuous content updates make it a game worth watching. The Cryo Knight, Guardian, and Hammer Mage also sound interesting because we haven't really seen a class-based system in this type of game before. Can't wait to see how it evolves, and I'm ready to jump right into this new world myself. With all that said, when can we enjoy this game? It's slated for a Q3 launch, but is it on track for that release window? Well, according to
Q3 from 12 days, aren't we in Q3, right? Or we're about to be in September, okay? Because Q4 is January to March or whatever, right? I don't know. It doesn't look bad. I'm a little bit less interested in it than I was before. Before, when I was just seeing screenshots, I was like, this looks like RuneScape, but with a whole different sort of vibe going on, and that interested me. But now it looks like RuneScape, but with a worse vibe going on, and now I'm a little bit less interested, which is kind of a bummer. I could definitely see it ending up being good. Like I said, Andrew Gower is a great developer, so if he pours his heart and soul into it, I could see it being a good thing long term. But I think that it could be a problem in the short term, especially if he's doing it episodically, because I just don't think that means that he has a lot going on.
In Andrew Gower's recent updates on X, the game will launch once they finish 4 storylines in the series, and they're currently close to completing the final one. In his most recent update, Gower said, yes, I know it's Q3, but that still gives us until the end of September, until we're late. So, maybe? I believe the team is hard at work, and they're really pushing for September release window. In either case, I feel that it's best that we remain patient and wait for a solid product. Brighter Shores is shaping up to be a groundbreaking MMO.
Okay, so I just had a thought about the profession system. I could see it being kind of cool in a certain way, and I could see how it links into the idea of sort of like snapping you into zones with your friends, that you could, in theory, always sort of know where your friends are going to be and what they're going to be doing. And if you need a thing done by your friend that they're specialized in, then going to that place where they are will allow you to just snap into the same zone as them. So it'll be like you're in real life, you know where your friend works, and you want to go see your friend because you need a really good coffee, and you know that your friend makes a really good coffee down at this coffee shop. Or like, you know, there's the best butcher in town, and you and him are on first name basis, and you go there to see him because you need his work done for you. I could see that being the system that they're trying to go for in some kind of way. Mark, what's up, dude? How you doing? No, this game has combat. Palia doesn't have. That's Palia. Palia doesn't have combat. That game looks strange to me. Tiff really likes Palia though.
Charm, innovative gameplay mechanics, and a continuous stream of
Probably
content,
not. Probably no
promises
GE.
to captivate both old school fans and new players alike. The diverse profession system, engaging storyline, and episodic content model are just a few of the features that set this game apart. While challenges exist, particularly in balancing free and premium content, the game's unique approach and Andrew Gower's expertise give it a promising outlook. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates and in-depth news on this and other exciting RPGs. Also, let me know in the comments what aspect of Brighter Shores you're most looking forward to.
Yeah, guys, give the video a like if you guys. He's only got 175 subscribers, and this video has 50,000 views, which is absolutely insane that people just didn't sub for him. But it doesn't. I mean, I'll play it. I'm obviously going to play it. I'm fiending for games to play over here, to the fact that I just played Fly for Fun yesterday for 8-9 hours of my day, and it was miserable the whole time. So, like, I'm obviously going to play it, but I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad. We'll find out.